Banksy is the pseudonym by which the most representative artist of street art is known today, one of the most named in the world, although the data about his identity are uncertain and the details of his biography are known. It is believed that he was born in Yate, a town near Bristol, in 1974, and later moved to the city when he spent his youth. A recent study from Queen Mary University of London identifies the artist as Robin Cunningham and confirms that he was born and raised in Bristol.
According to the illustrator and graphic designer Tristan Manco, one of those who has researched the most about urban art, the controversial artist prepared to be a butcher and got into this graffiti scene in the 80s, in what has been called the boom of the aerosol. In the 90s he was part of the band Bristol's Dry Bread Z, known as DBZ. Since then, his fame began to spread like wildfire, especially due to his clashes with the chief graffiti artist of the time, Robbo, whose Camden Canal graffiti was successively redecorated by Banksy to the comatose state of the first. That was what he did. Banksy puts an end to the confrontation and pays him heartfelt tribute. Banksy hides his true identity from the press in general, the police and his followers, but this does not prevent various media from sharing theories about his true identity from time to time, reaching conclusions based on concrete data or information shared by different media. In a 2003 interview with The Guardian's Simon Hatton Stone, Banksy is described as a 28-year-old white male in carefree casual wear, jeans, a t-shirt, a silver tooth, a silver chain, and a silver earring. Jimmy Nail and Mike Skinner from the streets. The same medium describes that Banksy started as an artist at age 14, was expelled from school, and was in prison for minor offenses. According to Hatton Stone, anonymity is vital to him because graffiti is an illegal activity. Banksy was speculated to be Robert Del Maya, aka 3D, Janie Hewlett, English comic book designer and cartoonist best known for the Tank Girl comic and the Virtual Gang. But Joanna Brooks, a publicist for Banksy, denied this claim and, like her, many other speculations. It has also been speculated that instead of being a single person, Banksy is a team of 7 artists. Very little is known of Banksy's youth. He is reported to have played as a goalkeeper for the Easton Cowboys football club during the 1990s and early 2000s. According to Will Simpson, another longtime Easton Cowboys member, Banksy went on tour with him. He went to Mexico in 2001 and painted several murals in the communities where they played, including a painting that was raffled to raise funds for water projects in Chiapas, in southwestern Mexico. Due to his anonymity, not much can be conjectured about Banksy's artistic education or training. However, very early in his career, he found a creative knack in using original imagery to develop his own unique voice, one that combined controversial and humorous imagery to create messages against war, capitalism, and the system. Artwork. Banksy began her career as a graffiti artist in the early 1990s, in the Bristol graffiti band Dry Bread Z crew. Although his initial work was largely freehand, Banksy used stencils on occasion. In the late 90s, she began to wear insoles predominantly. His work became more recognized in Bristol and London as his signature style developed. Banksy's work is characterized by striking imagery, often combined with slogans. His work often involves political themes, satirically criticizing war, capitalism, hypocrisy, and greed. Common themes include rats, apes, police officers, members of the royal family, and children. In addition to his two-dimensional work, Banksy is known for his installation artwork. One of the most famous pieces, which featured a live elephant painted in a Victorian wallpaper pattern, sparked controversy among animal rights activists. Banksy also used rats frequently in his art, as did his predecessor, the street artist Blek le Rat, who once said, "I started spraying some little rats on the streets of Paris because rats are the only wild animals that live in cities, and only rats will survive when the human race disappears and becomes extinct." In Banksy's work, these nocturnal creatures, for most people associated with diseases and infestations, can be understood as a kind of pseudonym or self-portrait of the artist completing the illegal works of the shelter from darkness. Technique. His technique is based on street art using templates. In his book Wall and Street, he tells how he got started in street painting, applying spray directly on the wall. But this technique took his time, which made it very risky because it was an illegal art. Because of this, he started using cardboard stencils of his own making that she sprayed with car spray that gave her the speed she needed to make the murals, making them more impressive. He adds to his simplicity and daring the use of gray tones and some colors, with which he seeks to express her ideas in the face of a large number of problems that affect society, making use of satire and criticism in each one from them. Among his main works are the following. Wall of Shame. He made it in the West Bank on the most important wall of the place. It was covered by paintings by the artist. For Banksy, they were the largest open-air prison in the world, and his graffiti was nothing more than a long list of messages to the contrary. The images of girls trying to escape from the wall using balloons, or the images of a blue sky and wonderful landscapes that slide through broken holes or small holes are a call to attention to this construction. Its impact has been such that even today, there is an alternative tourist route to enjoy these works. Girl with a pierced eardrum, which is actually a parody of a famous painting, exchanges the jewel in the original painting for a security alarm. The son of an immigrant from Syria, a work that portrays Steve Jobs in a refugee camp, and at the same time carries a backpack and a Macintosh computer in his hand as a complaint about the conditions of Syrian refugees. Relevant data. Banksy has published several books with photographs of her work in different cities, in addition to canvases of his work and her exhibitions, accompanying the images of his subversive and often sharp writings. Banging Your Head Against a Brick Wall book published in black and white, 2001. Existentialism, 2002. Cut It Out, referring to the practice of using the scalpel when making the templates, 2004. Wall and Peace, 2005. Banksy also exhibited for the first time in the Municipal Museum of Bristol, the city where he grew up, in 2009. Until then he had never held an exhibition of these characteristics in his country. 100 works now occupy the Bristol Museum, where very few people knew that the reason they had closed their premises was that Banksy was preparing an exhibition. In a statement, Banksy said that this is the first program he organizes in which taxpayer money is used to hang my works instead of deleting them. Here's some curiosities of Banksy. This author appears in one of the episodes of The Simpsons, during season number 22, and is shown in a part of the beginning of the episode that shows the city of Springfield full of different graffiti made by the artist in which he represents dark Asian factories where he notes that workers use dead animals for the production of The Simpsons products. He managed to place a stuffed rat on a poster at the Natural History Museum in London, and at the British Museum he was able to place an alleged piece of rock art showing a scene in which a shopping cart was hunting. The Banksy effect. Banksy's worldwide fame has transformed his artwork from acts of vandalism to coveted pieces of art. Journalist Max Foster has referred to the rising prices of graffiti as street art as the Banksy effect. Interest in Banksy increased with the release of the 2010 documentary Exit Through the Gift Shop. This is all about Banksy. I hope you like it.